Russia has opened a new front between Belgorod and Sumy. Ukraine's forces are falling back slightly. They're trying to stabilize a defensive line. But is it working? The war is approaching its 4-year mark, and Russia's tactics have changed dramatically. Gone are the large armor formations. Now it's smaller units backed by swarms of FPV drones. Ukraine is scrambling to adapt. Ukrainian Defense Minister Rustem Umerov admits the shift. Russia is using smaller units with drone support, he said last week. These units probe for weak spots. When they find them, they concentrate resources and pierce through. The result? In June 2025 alone, Russia captured 500 square kilometers, the fastest advance in months. Ukraine's response is a complete overhaul of fortifications. The old system used extensive trench networks stretching 2 to 5 kilometers. Now they're building smaller strongpoints, just 60 to 70 meters of trenches per position, each equipped with mandatory anti-drone covers. Army Commander Alexander Syrsky explains why. A drone on fiber optics can penetrate any hole, he warned. The new design makes detection harder. But there's a critical problem. Fortifications only work if they're occupied. Syrsky is blunt about it. If a normal strong point is built, but only 2 or 3 soldiers remain in it, of course this fortification does not play its role, he said. Ukraine faces a chronic troop shortage. Despite mobilization efforts, they're outnumbered on the 1,200-kilometer front line. The math is simple. Not enough bodies to hold the lines. The problems run deeper than manpower. Roman Pohorily, co-founder of DeepState mapping group, calls the Sumy and Kharkiv regions a mess. Hardly anybody knows who is responsible for what, he said. In Sumy's Yunakivka village, mountains of dragon's teeth sit unused. Some areas have trenches, but neighboring forests, where they should be, have nothing. The approach is haphazard. Ukrainian soldiers gave time after the Kursk offensive to prepare border defenses. But protective nets over supply roads weren't installed until January 2025. Soldier Artem Karyakin is furious. The route that could have been safely covered from August to December became a road of life where our weapons passed with only a 30 to 70% chance of survival, he said. Local authorities only started digging dugouts when Ukrainian forces were already retreating. By the time many positions were finished, Russians were much closer. The work lost relevance. The responsible officials lost a huge amount of time and ultimately failed their task. The roots go back decades. Before 2014, Ukraine systematically dismantled its engineering forces. By 2005, only 4 engineering regiments remained. Special military equipment was decommissioned and sold off. Excavators, earth-moving machines, mine plows, all gone. When the invasion came, there was no powerful engineering component to respond. Now Russia is exploiting every gap. They've sent private construction companies to build ready-made concrete shelters. They use a single master plan. The Kremlin has money to fill any gap with rubles and coercion. Ukraine doesn't have that luxury. The new Belgorod Sumy front is particularly vulnerable. Russian tank units claim they've reached the western border of Donetsk. They're pushing toward Dnipropetrovsk. Ukrainian forces are trying to stabilize the line. But without sufficient troops and with chaotic fortification efforts, the question is not if they'll be pushed back, but how far. What do you think? Is Ukraine's shift to smaller fortifications enough to stop Russia's drone-heavy tactics? Will the troop shortage doom Ukraine's defensive line between Belgorod and Sumy? Drop your thoughts below.